Hello, my name is Damon Friedman, co-founder and president of SOF Missions. As a 20-year veteran within Special Operations, I've gone through many challenges due to my military service and time in combat. We felt called to start SOF Missions to serve our fellow brothers and sisters in arms, focusing on suicide prevention and resiliency. Our mission at SOF Missions is to empower warriors to find purpose and be resilient. Since 2011, when we started the organization, almost 3 million men and women have deployed to Iraq and Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the scars of war take a toll on their psychological, physical, social, and spiritual health. Many veterans feel a sense of hopelessness and a loss of purpose when they return to civilian life. They feel isolated and alone, unable to reconnect. And in the greatest of tragedies, over 20 veterans lose all hope and take their own lives. Our goal at SOF Missions is to provide veterans the tools and resources so that they don't become a statistic. We offer a unique approach to combating veteran suicide through a whole health, intradisciplinary model. The Be Resilient program is a 4-pillar methodology that addresses the areas of psychological, physical, social, and spiritual wellness. We provide care through 3 delivery methods: medical clinics, retreats, and educational training. Since we started back in 2011, we have been able to reach veterans in all 50 states and have served over 3,000 veterans through the Be Resilient program. Being resilient is a multifaceted and complex issue. We know that to find a lasting solution, we have to address the whole warrior. Many challenges cannot be solved by providing the treatments and modalities of just one component, but by tackling them all. Now, we've expanded our services to include law enforcement and first responders. Together, we can make a lasting impact in the lives of warriors across the nation. To learn more, visit our website at sofmissions.org.
For your post assignment, all units proceed to your post assignment.
All right. This ain't just a show. This is a platform. Veteran built, battle tested. Welcome to the MisFitNation. Yeah! Mic in a room, built from boots on the ground, now we breaking the rules. 2 vets, 1 leader, painting the sound, turn scars into sermons, let them echo around. Authors with truth, musicians with fire, actors backstage chasing something higher. Entrepreneurs bleeding just to get ahead. If you fought for your dream, yeah, you are what you said. If they told you no, if you still came back, if you fell to your knees but you stayed on track, this is your voice, this is your flame. Say it loud, remember the name. No salvation, just elevation. We rise again. From the fight, to the end. We are the MisFitNation. No damn labels, no damn cages. If you're still breathing, you belong. Turn it up, this is our song. Yeah, this is our song. Yeah. Veterans standing with ghosts in the chest. First responders running in while the world second guess. Gold star names carved deep in the soul. Your story ain't over, we carry the whole. Coaches teaching mindset, breaking the chains, turning barely alive into owning the pain. Truth over polish, scars on display. If it's real, let it bleed, that's the misfit play. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. If it's heavy right now, and the dark feels cold. It's stop right now, we're the more than you know. 988, don't walk alone. Veterans press 1, bring it home. Don't trade forever for tonight. You're still needed in this fight.
Welcome back to the Misfit Nation, the Thursday after dinner show. We know you have other places you could be tonight. First game of the playoffs is on tonight in college football playoffs, but don't worry. After an hour, you'll be able to see it again. You'll be able to see that second half and maybe not have as much anxiety as you go into that second half. You'll have a great show behind you, learn some great things, learn about our great guest tonight, and also earn some more of those frequent flyer miles with the Misfit Nation. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Before we start, we thought we'd get a few weeks into the year before we had to do something like this, but we have some memorials to announce. Police Officer Stephen Laporta, Uxbridge Police Department, Massachusetts. End of watch, Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Police Officer Terry L. Bennett, Metropolitan Police Department, District of Columbia. End of watch, Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. Let's keep both these men, their families, their friends, their peers in your thoughts and prayers as they go through this sudden change. Both men were killed by drivers who were not paying attention and hit them while they were assisting other drivers in two different states at about the same time. So let's pay attention out there, and maybe the life you save won't just be your own. It'll be someone else's on the side of the road. Now, tonight, we're going to get off the heavy stuff and go into something a little better. The Misfit Nation will welcome U.S. Navy veteran Daryl Mackin, the founder of A Soldier's Child Foundation. After a loss of a Marine in his hometown, his home community, he answered a lifelong calling to honor our fallen by loving the children they left behind. What started as one birthday has grown into a movement serving thousands of Gold Star children across the nation. This is a conversation about legacy, responsibility, and hope. So without further ado, let's welcome Daryl Mackin to the Misfit Nation. Welcome, Daryl.
Hey, thanks, Rich. Thanks for having me on tonight. That was a great intro, and I really dig that song, man. I don't know if you saw me, but
I seen you bopping back there.
I was headbanging to that.
I see you starting to feel that alt rock was getting you there. It's awesome.
So it now hurts because I did it too long. I'm too old. I can't be pulling that crap. I got to stop doing that.
I was thinking today, I walked out my garage and I said, you know what? Every time I do a sudden move, I think I'm going to break something now. As we get older, every move can cause some permanent damage. So I think about that. You just said that, just rang into my head again.
You're right. You're right.
Daryl, thanks for getting on here with me. I know I met your guys down there at the Heroes Run in Murfreesboro.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you were, or think you were busy at the time when I was talking to your guys down there during the 9/11 Heroes Run. But it's awesome to have you on here and be able to share a soldier's child's mission with the Misfit Nation, along with your service to our country.
Yeah. Well, I love the name Misfit Nation. I've kind of always felt like a misfit, but
outstanding. So you're welcome. You're one of us now.
Well, I feel like I fit in now, man. I think I found my calling. I think God has blessed me with the ministry that I do for the children of our fallen. And every day I wake up, brother, and I'm not kidding, I honestly feel like I am the most blessed, rich person on the planet because of my life. My life is so full. It's just incredible. That's the truth.
That's an outstanding feeling. You can wake up knowing that the purpose that you're on this earth is being served by you, and you get your cup is full every day.
Amen. It's the truth. I'm not lying. Now I work my ASS off, and I have days that are semi-stressful, but one of the key secrets for me is I have my own skills and some of my bends and whatnot, but I really rely on the Lord in my life to direct me, and it has been a winning formula. We've been going for almost 18 years, and we keep growing, and we keep bringing in new folks to the fold to help us do this work, and we're constantly taking on new families. One fact I will tell you right off the bat, back when we first started in 08, 09, we were taking 25 children a month. So 25 children of our fallen, and they were all combat-related deaths. To this day, this is the craziest part. People will be blown away. They won't believe it. We're taking 25 new children a month today, and we've been out of war for almost 4 years.
Wow.
So ask why. Well, you mentioned it was in your prologue earlier, but It is burn pit cancers, which are crazy. It's out there, and it's happening to guys. You know, they get leukemia, they get cancer, they get all these, they get different diseases and whatnot when they're in, and then they get out. And, you know, it might be 2-3 years removed. It might be 4 or 5 surgeries later, and they pass. So we take on those families, those children left behind. And the big one, which everybody knows, is the PTSD, death by suicide. And that's a whole nother ball of wax. That, you know, it's one thing if your parent dies in combat and is deemed a hero. It's another if they fought in battles and won, and they come home and they're still fighting the demons of war, and they lose that battle. It's quite something different to minister to that child.
Yeah, because that's now not only they had their parent leave them, the parent came back, and now their parent leaves forever. Yeah,
and it's really a question of honor. You know, they often feel like there's no honor attached to the loss of their father, and now to their own lives. You know, the big lie about PTSD, suicide, and I didn't expect to start right off with this, but
I was going to ask you to tell a little more about you, but you're in this.
I'm going to have to do that, but you know, this is obviously the way we're going
here right now. So go ahead.
So we have been dealing with. I mean, now it's like it's over 50% of the children we now serve.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just so sad, and we're fighting for these kids, and we're fighting for our veterans that are still alive. In fact, we're producing a documentary this year. We've already produced the sizzle, and now we're trying to get it out there to get further funding to produce a 70-minute documentary called Out of the Shadows, and it's really addressing the big lie that veterans with PTSD, suicide, that are raging, you know, inside, and they feel like they're losing the battle, like they lost their will to live, and they actually think that their families would be better off without them. That's the big lie. That's the big lie. And what I say to them, and what I have said to them, is, you know, you're right in the sense that maybe right now you need to be out of the house. Maybe you need to be in an addiction facility. Maybe you need to be at Mighty Oaks. I don't know if you ever heard of those guys, but they do an awesome job. There's Hope Centers, Reboot and Recovery. There's enough, you know, non-government. You know, I'm not saying that I'm not poo-pooing the VA. I actually just came from the VA and I had an MRI. So
you made it.
So I'm not poo-pooing the VA. I'm not. There's some really good VAs out there and some really good people that do their jobs. But I find that the private sector, you know, that are started by veterans, they're winners. I find that those are winning ingredients for this problem. But what we say to them is, you know, you need to get the help, because here's the other big lie. The other big lie is that they believe that when they leave this earth in that manner, that the pain ends.
Yeah.
It does not. I've been doing this work, this ministry, for 18 years. I serve, I love on, I care, I mentor, I celebrate, I cry with these children. And I'm telling you, and their mamas, the pain that they think dies with them, it is transferred to the surviving spouse and to the children. And here's another fact, brother. And I hope we veterans that are suffering from right now are listening. The other fact is this, is that children of suicide are at the highest risk demographically in the whole entire world of taking their own lives. So if you leave It's not far-fetched to expect your child to be coming after you.
Right. They watched you do it. They watched what you went through and figured that's the button you should press to get away from it.
And they miss them.
Yep.
You know, I mean, I've held kids in my arms, man, crying. I just want to be with dad.
Yep. And that's the shock and awe of it. Like I said earlier, you get them back. They get them back from service, and then they're not really. We don't come. A lot of us don't come home whole. We don't come home whole.
That's right, bro.
And you know, when you don't get that help, you don't recognize that you need the help, or don't want to recognize that you can get help.
Yeah.
It branches off into the family, so that PTS doesn't stay just in your chest. It's going to little Johnny, little Josephine, and to your spouse. And then when you've decided that the easy button is to get out, to press the button and go, it doesn't stop because their hearts are broken now, and their PTS just multiplies.
Brother, I'm telling you, my heart breaks for veterans that are suffering with it. It's a real thing.
Yeah,
it's real. It's spiritual. It's physical. It's mental. It's emotional. It's all of it, and it feels like it's all just caving in on them. I'm working with guys right now that are suffering from it. I have a guy now that's going to be in our documentary that is a poster child for overcomer. He's overcome. He came out. He did 2 combat tours. Came out and did 20 years of police officer work.
Wow!
And has seen more death than anybody should ever even think of. And he had it in his mouth,
man.
And he thought of his children. The last thing he thought was of his children. And
wow.
then it was like the next day, his buddy comes up to him, tells him about Mighty Oaks, which is an amazing organization. I've said him twice now. Yeah. And he went there, and his life was transformed, bro. And now he leads the children in a Soldier's Child Foundation, at camps, at hunts that we do. I mean, all across the board. This guy, his name is Mike, and he's involved in everything. And I have other veterans, the same thing. And it's like, the thing is, Mike realized what moves him now is, and I invite other veterans to this. As long as you're healthy enough to serve, I invite you to be a part of this, because it will change your life serving these children of our fallen. You realize that your kids could have been served by a Soldier's Child Foundation when you're in it, when you're mentoring the kids. But anyway, I am so sorry I started off like that, brother. Please forgive me.
You got it. You got the roller coaster going. You put your
Maybe
foot
I
on
should tell them about what we do.
Well, we go a little deeper than that. Talk a little bit about Daryl.
Oh gosh,
well, about your service and then why this started.
I actually wrote a book, and what's going to make that even more ironic is I was a high school dropout. You know, they didn't really have all the medications back when I was a kid. You know, I'm an old man now. I'm 63. Well, now I'm an old man. I live young, but you know, they would have had me on everything, all of them. You know, they would have posted me up on the walls of the school. I was that bad. I remember telling my mom, I said, "Mom, listen, I'm done. I'm done with school." There was 16 kids in my family. I wanted out. It was like, you know, yeah, we had, this is no joke. It's not a lie. We had 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms, and a basement, and 16 of us lived in it.
Good Lord. Obviously no TV.
We had a small little TV. It was black and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
we were a part rabbit.
Good Lord. Heck yeah.
And of course, Catholic.
There it is right there.
Irish Catholic in New York. You know, that's the way it was. No birth control.
So but Dad anyway, said hello, and Mom got pregnant.
Well, my biological father had PTSD from the Korean War, and he abandoned my mom when I was a newborn baby. And then my mom remarried my stepfather, and he was World War II, and he had PTSD. He was a raging alcoholic. In the end, God got a hold of his heart and changed his life, but he left when I was 12. And by the time I was 17, brother, Rich, I was like, screw it. Nothing matters. It's all shit anyway. I'm sorry if I said that. I'm sorry. Can I get away with that?
Yeah, you're good.
One time only. And That's really how I felt. And I said, I'm just going to live it until I burn out. And that's how I lived. I was a train wreck for the longest time. And on one fateful night in 1991, God got a hold of my heart, changed my life. And I realized that I was loved. And, and that's a winning factor for most anybody. All of us want to be loved. And I felt a true connection with the one who made me. I knew I had no control over where I'd be born, who I'd be born to, color of my skin, color of my eyes, nothing. I had no control about coming into this earth, and I really don't have any control of going out. But I realized God, my creator, my father creator, wanted a relationship with me. And I'm full on. I'm not a religious guy, but I'm a full on believer in Jesus Christ. I know he's the answer. And so from that day forward, it changed my life. And he made me a better person, gave me different motivations and perspectives. And I just started living, not for myself anymore, but from that moment, I was a high school teacher for 20 years. I coached Little League Baseball for 25 years. I did youth ministry. I did mission trips, and just all my life has been for children. That's been my call, is to work with kids, to mentor kids. And in 2007, when my neighbors lost their son in Iraq, I saw that photo. It's that image of Christian Golzinski receiving his father's flag at his funeral. He was a Marine Staff Sergeant Marcus Golzinski, and it's that iconic photo of the young boy, and you could see his chin buckling up as he's receiving his father's flag. And it was personal for me because it was my neighbor's grandson.
Right.
And one night I walked across the street. It was about 3 months after Mark had been killed. And Henry said to me, this was it, Rich. This was what pushed me, what punched me in my heart. Henry said to me, did it really freaking matter? And does anybody even give a damn? He questioned, was all of it worth the life of his son? And I realized, oh my gosh, here I am, a self-proclaimed Christian patriot. And I realized that all of these families are saying it. They're all thinking it, feeling it, believing it. Do we even care? And did it matter? That 99% of us live free in this country and never defend the freedoms that we get to live out. And that 1% does it. And when they don't go home, for whatever reasons, their children just suffer, just traumatic suffering. And they miss out on everything that other children get.
Right.
And then you put the math together, and it's because they defend the freedoms that these other families get to have. And I was just like, this ain't right. This ain't right. And so I was, I knew I wanted to do something about it, and God led me that way. And it started with one birthday for Christian, Mark's son, my neighbor Henry's grandson. And from there, we went to 2 birthdays, and then 4 birthdays, and then 5 birthdays. And then at 100 birthdays, we celebrated our first camp with 17 kids that attended. And now, brother, we do college scholarships. We do K-9 scholarships, private education, tutoring, homeschool. We do 300 birthdays a month. We spend $35,000 a month on birthday gifts for these kids. We package them up based upon their wish list, and then we mail it to their homes. Just go to our website, asoldierschild.org, and you will see all that we do. We do over 20 camps a year. We really specialize in hunting camps because it would have been a natural fit that a lot of these dads, we've heard so many stories. My dad was going to take me hunting as soon as he got home, And so we do bear hunting, moose hunting. We do from mice, no, okay, not mice, but rats, because squirrels are rats. So we do squirrel hunting all the way up to bear and moose, access deer, white-tailed deer, turkeys, you name it, brother. Coyotes, foxes, bobcats. We hunt it all year long. We do culinary arts camp, dance camp, theater camp. We do songwriting camps. We do our big flagship camp, which is called Journey Camp. So that's where the magic happens, is in our camps. where the kids come together, and it's the power of empathy, where they've all had the like experience of losing a military parent, and now we take them out of their high schools because nobody in their high school knows what the heck they're going through,
Right.
and we put them with other kids that have experienced the same loss, and the healing begins. And we invite them back year after year. We're there's 12 months out of the year, and we do 22 camps a year. We're just jamming all year long, camp after camp after camp, just bringing these kids. We'll send over 500 kids to camp this year.
Wow.
We do a Christmas program, and we do a mom's program, a mom's healing program. It's called Story Study, where they tap into their own pain and suffering, and they go through a biblical study, and they learn how to turn their pain and suffering into passion and purpose and serve others. And it is working, man. It is, this is a hard thing to discuss, but with as long as we've been through it, we've seen so much joy, so much success in overcoming in people's lives. It's been an amazing journey.
It's an amazing thing you're doing, and
Yeah.
you're right down the road. You're right down the road here in Smyrna. I'm up in Clarksville, so
Yes, sir.
we're like an inch and a half away from each other on the map.
Yeah, on the map. I'm inch and a half. Yeah. Something we're doing. Something we're doing
national
now.
traffic is 3 hours.
Yeah, but national traffic, that's another hour and a half. You're right about that. But we started a program called PS23. So it's when kids turn. So obviously we're giving them scholarships after 18 years of age. But when they turn 18 years of age, we invite them back into our leadership program called PS23. We send them through a DTS program. It's discipleship training. And we send them on. We've been everywhere from skiing in Maine on our OTG trips off the grid, skiing in Maine, Alaska hiking, whitewater rafting in Texas, deep sea fishing in Florida, horseback riding across the canyon. It's just crazy. We've done the craziest thing we ever did, because everything we do, I have to do. We did canyoneering in Utah. I think most people don't even know what freaking canyoneering is.
You're gonna have to explain that.
Oh, dude, it's basically, have you ever seen those photos and it's the rock formation and it looks like the inside of somebody's ear?
Oh, okay, yeah.
You climb through these, and it's crazy. It's just, and I did it with them, and we jump out of planes. It's just crazy crap. And here's the reason why. The reason we would do it is I do believe by facing our fears, and overcoming those fears, we get stronger as human beings. I honestly believe that. I've experienced that in my own life. I'm not afraid of heights anymore. And I realized it wasn't that I was afraid of heights. I was afraid of falling.
And neither kill you. It's the sudden stop at the bottom.
Yeah. Excuse me. You got to mute me. You got me. You got me on that one.
Good.
It's the sudden stop at the bottom. You're right. But here's the magic. I want to tell you, listeners, the magic of this program. So we send these guys through our DTS program, and they in turn come back to the camps and they train up the children along the way. So they've all lost a military parent, and now they come back to camp as leaders. And they're in the cabins with the kids. They're leading them, through on the hikes and the high ropes course and all the stuff. And it's just, they have moments together with them where it's like they know exactly how they feel because they've been through it. And it's the best. So any good support network group that works, AA, NA, you name it, cancer recovery groups, all of them, they work because they've all been through it. You know what I mean? Yep. And so that's pretty much what our PS23 program does with our young kids, because we still, we're still taking up. We just 2 days ago, we got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Oh, wow. Golly.
Yeah. And we celebrate their birthday every year up to age 18. And then after birthdays and all through those years from 9 to 17, we send them to camp. We keep them at camp and we mentor them and raise them up. And you know, bro, I was just talking about this to somebody. We got a camp coming up at the end of this month. We got moms sending their 12-year-old children on an airplane, you know, 1,000 miles away to Nashville, Tennessee, and they've never met us.
Oh my God.
You think I know, bro, but do you think to yourself? But here's the deal: you think to yourself, how can someone do that? I don't think I would have ever done that. But you know why? Because they're so dang desperate, to get help for their kids.
Combination of the desperation, and they've read up on you and they know what you do.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, of
Otherwise,
course we've been
otherwise
at
you'd
it.
be like sending someone to a TikTok guy. So
Yeah,
you're just cheaper than TikTok guy.
we have a strong reputation. You know, they really talk about, you know, our love that we have for them and for their children, and just we just, you know, the Misfit Nation, you know what you're all about. You care for people who put on the uniform and serve others. That's at our core. It's at our core.
100%. And I don't know if you've
Yes,
seen
sir.
that name I popped up there. David Willis popped in and said, "Hey, Misfit Nation on there. Hey, Rich and Misfit Nation." He's up in Louisville. He has a show called the Homefront Sit Rep, and you'd be great for his show as well. So after this show, I'm going to send you his information and get you two linked up, so you get more
Absolutely.
reps and more exposure up in that up there in the north there, the great Redbird North up there in Louisville. But he's a great dude. He's a Marine by birth, but he's my brother now. So
Well,
great
listen, tell him don't hold it against me, because I'm sure you and him and everybody else has figured out. Wait a minute, that boy ain't from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
I'm not from here either.
Listen, I'm almost. They say if you live here 25 years, they'll give you a card that'll say it won't say "damn Yankee" on it anymore. It'll say Southern Yankee.
It says naturalized.
So I'm waiting for my card. I got 3 years left, and then I get my card. I tell you, brother, talk about hunting. I never hunted a day in my life, and I turned 50. And it was all my Southern friends down here in Chapel Hill, Columbia, Tennessee, you know, Murfreesboro. I mean, Duck River, you name it, you know, Woodbury. And now we run a hunting program. Listen, we just harvested, we shipped out just before Christmas, 1,327 pounds of deer meat to over 40 ASC families. And it wasn't just about, you know, we had an October hunt and we harvested 27 deer. And that's how much meat we got. And it wasn't just about them getting the deer meat that their child harvested, but it was to fill their freezer with meat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really, yeah, it helped. I mean, we fundraise all year long to do these things for mamas. And we have some dads too in our organization, but 80% of them are all moms.
All right, we got a question from the audience now, Daryl.
I'd be
I
happy.
think you've already answered this a little bit, but this is from @Cream what moment made you realize loving the child left behind was your life's mission? I think you answered this a little bit before, but maybe they missed it.
Yeah, there was a poignant moment that I haven't said, and it was after. Just felt it.
You felt it.
Was that? I just felt it. That was good. Thank you, God. It was after Mark was killed, and his stepmom brought me over a letter that Mark had written. And it begins by saying, don't feel sorry for us. We are warriors. And as warriors that have gone before us, we fight and sometimes die so our families don't have to. Stand beside us because we would do it for you. It's our unity that has allowed us to prosper as a nation. That's what Mark said. It's like the anthem cry of our warrior saying, hey, we know what we signed up for and we're good with it, you know, but support us, you know. And you think about the Vietnam veteran guys, they didn't have that, you know. Every time I see a Vietnam veteran, I say, welcome home, because they need to hear that. But it was after that moment, so my wife had just decided, we had twins, and she just decided to go back to work. And I said, honey, I got Zach's birthday. It was his 6th birthday. He's now 25. I said, I got his birthday. I'll make a 3-day cake. You know, I'm a chef I was a cook in the Navy, and I'm a chef by trade now. And so I'll make a 3-day football cake. That's what he wants. I'll make the invitation so all the kids to come over. I'll figure out what kids are going to spend the night, directions to the house, and I'll do all of that. And I was working at my computer, and I had it all prepped up. I had recipes planned out. I had it all good. And my dang computer crashed.
Oh, man.
And I kicked back from my computer, and I said, I said another word, but I said, this is crap. And I looked up on my wall, man, and there's that photo.
Wow.
Of Christian receiving his father's flag. And it was in that moment, man, it hit me. I just started weeping. And I asked God to forgive me for my bad attitude about celebrating the life of my son.
Right.
And then I realized that Mark, it's gone. He's gone. It's never going to happen. And Christian will never have it. And something happened in my heart that night. And I said, I'm going to do something about it so this boy gets celebrated. And that's how we came up with the birthday idea.
Wow.
And bro, listen, life is full of good intentions. This one was different. I know, people will be like, he's just a religious wacko. I'm not a religious guy at all. I love Jesus Christ, and I know he's the answer. For me, I felt a deposit on my life with the energy and the whereabout to get this job done. And it came from God Almighty.
Wow.
And that's what we've been doing for 18 years.
That is awesome. You're doing his work. And
thank you, baby.
In any absence of those who left us, you're doing his work, and that's amazing. And yeah. I don't think anyone can replicate it, but hopefully they're duplicating what you're doing, and maybe at a lower level, and passing them on to you.
It is happening. Bro, if you think about it, since these two wars, since 9/11, I have seen a huge growth in our country, maturity in our country. First of all, the people recognize that just because the decisions our government makes, we can't blame the men and women that fight the battles like the way we did in Vietnam. It was just ludicrous, And I believe as a nation, we have grown up and recognized they're just men and women like you and I.
Exactly.
But they signed a paper that said they would run into what, you would run from, what most people would run from. Those are our warriors. We have to have them. And I think people have grown up, and I think I have seen more nonprofits in the last 20 something years. More military nonprofits have just sprouted up. Yeah. Some are like, but a lot of them are really good and are doing really good things and are spending the money that folks make donations to. They're spending it the right way, 82% of every dollar we spend at a soldier's child goes to the children in programs and service. 82%. That's
amazing. That's a very high number for a nonprofit.
I mean, that's why we started. We started to care for the kids, and we're going to keep doing that. And that's how we spend your money. Anybody that gives us a donation, that's how we're spending the money. Now we got six staff that cares for over 5,000 children all across the country. We're in every single state. We have 2 offices, one in Dallas and one in Smyrna, Tennessee.
And is it equal staff in each one of them?
No, it's mainly the 6 here in Smyrna that most of everything we can do from one office. We moved to Dallas because Dallas, 5,000 children, almost 1,000 of them come from Texas.
Texas has a huge veteran.
So here's the deal. You all know history, right? You know the story about Davy Crockett? What did Davy Crockett do? He went down with his guys and he bailed out Texas. Well, I went down there and I was like, and I'm talking to these Texas folks and I'm like, listen, history is repeating itself. Tennesseans are caring for Texas children.
Always.
Oh, that pissed them off.
I bet. Way to go.
That pissed them off. And now they are doing such an awesome. They started this nonprofit in their name, Lone Star Founders for a Soldier's Child Foundation. Look on our website right now and come down to Texas. We got a casino night happening at the end of February, put on by the Lone Star Founders. To date, within 4 years, they raised like $500,000 for us. They're amazing people. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And now they're caring for, and there's others too. We've received grants and different funding from like the Sportsman Group down in Irving, Texas. It's just been amazing, the funding that has been coming to us from Texans caring for Texan children.
Amazing. We got another question popped in during our talk right there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Here we go. Not today, sir. 4. How has the rise in post-service loss and suicide changed the work ASC does today? Thank you for that question.
So we haven't changed necessarily any of our programming. You know, we do the same programming, the same camps and the birthdays and the scholarships and Christmas and, you know, coming along. We do some financial assistance for the families for, you know, if the kid wants to really get into like a special sport or band and there's cost for something, we allot for that as well. But I think where the real big change has come from is that, well, I mentioned it a little bit earlier. The honor has been removed from PTSD, suicide, death by suicide. It's gone. And so we have to restore that honor. We have to try to restore that honor to the families, to the children. And one of the things we speak to is the contract. The contract that your father signed. And I'm going to tell you a story. And this is the worst story I can tell you. But it happened. And it's what changed me. And it was about 9 years ago. We did a camp. And we used to have a slogan, giving back to the children of our fallen American heroes. That was our slogan. That's not our slogan anymore. It's now giving back to the children of our fallen American defenders of freedom. That's what we say. The reason why we changed it was at one of these camps with over 100 children at it. I said that slogan. And one boy stood up and it said, "How the F is my father a hero?"
Wow.
When he shot himself in the head, and my mom and I had to clean it up. And you could just, the room went silent, and then it was just crying all over, just throughout the room. They were crying.
From the mouths of babes. There it is. Yeah.
And somehow, some way, you know, I said to that boy that I got on my knee, and I was right in front of him. And I told him, I said, you know, your father signed the contract. I said it earlier that he said your father was a warrior. And he said that he would give up his life for others, that he would lay down his life for the freedoms of others. And your father fought in wars. I told him, I said, I know the battles your father fought, and you and I have talked about them. And when he came home, war came home with him, and it raged inside of him. And he lost that battle. He lost that battle. But that is not the way. That is not the way to go.
Right.
And so that's why now we're in the battle. We're producing this documentary, and we want to talk to veterans. I feel like a Soldier's Child Foundation has the perfect platform to speak to the veteran who is suffering with PTSD and thinking of suicide, because we could say, what is going on with your kids? We got your kids.
Yeah. Man.
And so that's what our documentary is going to highlight, that aspect. And hopefully we're going to point them. We're not going to be part of the recovery process, but we're going to point them to the ones that are doing it well. And I mentioned a few. The Hope Centers throughout our country, they're awesome. You know, addiction always has something to do as well with PTSD. It's the Molotov cocktail, addiction and PTSD, you know, it leads to suicide. but there's the Hope Centers, the Reboot and Recoveries, and AA. But the one I'm just hooked on and love is Mighty Oaks. Mighty Oaks does it like I have seen nobody else do it yet. Mighty Oaks.
You mentioned, I think that's 4 times now.
Say it,
4
brother.
times you mentioned. It's 4 times now you've mentioned.
Oh, because I'm just a believer. I've seen guys riddled with PTSD transformed.
I had past January, end of January, beginning of February, I was at SOF Missions, that first video on the show. And I think half of the guys, there was 8 of us in the group, or 9 of us, about half of them had just went to Mighty Oaks before going there. And I never heard of it before they talked to me about it. These are all special forces dudes that were in that broken mindset, and they know how to get the help. And they went to Mighty Oaks, and it broke them down and brought them back.
Amen.
Broke them down, brought them back, and now they're able to help others.
It's happening.
1 week from tonight, they're on the show. Mighty Oaks will be on the show next Thursday.
Woo! Yeah. You tell them that I shouted out a lot of love to them. Will you do that for me, brother?
I'm going to tell them they better shout you out 4 times.
I love let's make it an even 5. Mighty Oaks.
There it is. We got 2 more questions came in, then we'll start wrapping up here, Daryl.
All right. Thank you, brother.
This is from Holla Front 3. Why are birthdays such a powerful tool for healing and remembrance? Thank you, Holla Front.
That's who said that question?
Holla Front.
Holla Front.
There it is.
Holla. That's an awesome question. I mean, think about it. You know, I'm 63. I'll turn 64 this year. You know what? I want a birthday party. Okay.
Everyone wants one.
You're never too old to celebrate my life, Holla. Come on over. You can be a part of the party. Make sure you bring a gift, okay, please. No,
there it is.
There it is. No, it's just it's the one day of the year. You know, when I was a kid, I told you we were raised dirt poor. We were poor. We were on welfare. My stepfather at the time was a bad alcoholic, and he would steal the welfare checks and go gamble. It was just rough, man. We had a rough childhood. But when it came time for our birthday, you became the king or queen for a day. For a day, you could tell the rest of your siblings, tie my shoes, fix my lunch,
Good luck.
do my chores. It was awesome. And by the time it didn't really go the whole day, because by the time like 10 o'clock came around, they're like, screw you, do it yourself, Jack, But it was instilled in me because my mom couldn't afford gifts for us.
All right.
We couldn't afford gifts. And I'm thinking about it now, but it instilled in me that celebration of a person's life, of the day they came into Earth, to this planet, into life. And I guess also with the story with my own son celebrating his birthday, I just think it's a great opportunity. First of all, it's a full-on void for them now that the dad or mom is gone, and they actually grieve their own birthday. Before we came along, kids didn't want to celebrate their birthdays. They would tell their moms. We've heard story after story that our foundation has restored birthdays in their family's home.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, it's a day to say you're number one, and you're not invisible. We see you, and you're loved and cared for by complete strangers. We know what you've been through, and we want to celebrate you and honor your parent. And that's gone. Wow. That's why birthdays, Holla. That's why.
Holla. There it is. Holla.
Holla.
And our last, we'll take one last question from the audience. This is a pretty good one too. This is from Kenny Does It.
Kenny, what do you do, Kenny?
Yeah, he does it, obviously.
He's a handyman. Hey, that would be great if he was a handyman. Kenny does it.
It's on the side of his truck. How can everyday Americans better support Gold Star families in meaningful ways? Thank you, Kenny.
All right, that's man. You got smart listeners, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
You got a smart audience.
They usually ask questions. I have no idea what they mean, but These are good.
So that's the big problem, Kenny, when you think about it. Outside of a marquee, we support our troops, or a bumper sticker that says, death before dishonor, or, support our troops, whatever it would say. People think, what can I do?
Right.
And so we have a very unique program. We believe to give, we're a two-part mission. Not only are we caring for the children of our fallen and their families left behind, we're giving the average American citizen an opportunity to be a part of this work. And it's not just a check. If somebody wants to send in a check and that's all they want to do is write a check for a soldier's child to allow us to do this work, we're all about it. We'll take it. But what we would rather is that you get engaged. So maybe we're at Dallas and we're in Tennessee. So maybe you're in North Dakota. Well, if you have a fundraiser, a golf scramble, a 10K, a bike trek, whatever, a casino night, a poker run, and what you can do in that is we'll send you material, and you can have it to benefit a Soldier's Child Foundation. And listen, Kenny, if you make it big enough, I'll come.
Oh boy.
Woo!
Make it big, Kenny, and I'll come. But there's other ways too, and this is for a lot of local folks, within Tennessee and Kentucky and whatnot, even Georgia, where we open up for a mentorship program for adults. And we love to get veterans and even non-veterans. But, we put you through our training process. We train you up to how to be the best mentor. You go through our training, and then after that, you can mentor a child in horseback riding. You can mentor him in hunting. You can mentor him, at our journey camp. But you can be a part of our team.
Wow.
So that exists.
That is awesome.
We have a program called CCAP, and stands for Compassionate Corporate America Partners. We have partnered with everyone from Coca-Cola to the big trucking company, Venture Express, National Insulator Contractor Exchange Group. I mean, all across the country, we've partnered with these big corporations, and they take on 1 month of birthdays. So imagine this: you got a big business, and you launch out to your group, you communicate to your group. We are going to celebrate 1 month of birthdays for a Soldier's Child Foundation. All children who've lost a military parent. You guys can do all the shopping for the kids. You do the wrapping, the packing, and you ship all the gifts out. And you guys get to write notes and letters to the kids. And we would even bring a local family within your community to that event.
Wow.
I mean, we have Kenny, look us up on soldierschild.org. Everybody else as well that's interested in this aspect. We have so many ways to get you involved in your own state because we serve children in your state. So look us up. Again, my name is Daryl Mackin. You can find me at Daryl, Daryl, at soldierschild.org. My cell phone number is 615-427-2970. Our office number is 615-220-1600. Find us at soldierschild.org. We're on Facebook. We're on all social media. Find us, reach out to us, and we will make something happen if you want to work.
Outstanding. That took one of my last two questions right out the bat, so I didn't have to ask it. How to get in contact with you. So that's awesome.
Yeah. Can you post some of that, Rich?
I can, yeah. I've been posting your website the whole time.
Oh, you're a sweetheart.
I'll go put your email address on there. I got that right here. Well, while I'm posting this, I'll ask you my question to you.
Okay.
What's 3 things the MisFitNation, our audience, can start doing tomorrow to be better people?
Anytime you see somebody in uniform, stop them. Say something of gratitude to them. Buy them lunch. Pay their gas. Something. While they're serving, let them know that they matter to us. Definitely that is one.
Definitely.
Definitely. Number two, if it's not our kids, let it be someone's kids. But care for children. Give to children organizations. They're the most vulnerable. They're the most influential. You know, their minds are growing. I tell you what, I remember, even with my rough childhood, I remember the people that took the time out to say I had value. That's one. And of course, number three, you want to be a better person, give to a Soldier's Child Foundation. I'm not going to miss that opportunity, Rich.
Ooh, that was a softball question. Softball question. You hit the home run on the last swing. You finally got it.
Call
Daryl,
me. I gave you my cell phone. Call me. We'll talk forever.
There you go. There you go. Daryl, this has been great chatting with you over the last almost an hour here. You shared so much about ASC, a Soldier's Child, about your service, about what ASC has done, not just for the children, but for you too. It has done so much for you, for your family, and for those who are in your 6-person staff, and then all your volunteers as well.
Oh,
it's an amazing foundation. If you have not looked them up, get on a soldierschild.org. It's a very good, very easy to navigate website, not like some websites. It's a very easy to navigate one. If you don't want to give a donation in kind, you can buy swag, and that gives a donation to them as well. So do what you can to help these kinds of organizations help others. Yeah. Help them help others, and you'll feel it in your heart too. So, Daryl, thank you for being with us tonight and sharing all this with us.
Thank you, brother. God bless you, Rich. I love you, brother. I really appreciate you having me on it and highlighting the work of a Soldier's Child Foundation.
Outstanding. Next time I get down your way, maybe we'll stop, get some coffee or something down there.
No, I'll buy you lunch.
There it goes. We'll go to two.
I got a great barbecue place right next to us. I'll buy you some good barbecue.
All right, deal. Next time I'm down there. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody, and thank you for listening.
Misfit Nation, remember, as me and Daryl talked about way in the beginning about PTSD and losing soldiers and sailors and veterans, a day tomorrow with you is 100% better than one without you. Don't give in to that darkness. Stay in the light. Dial 988. Take option 1 if you're a veteran. If you don't want to do that, call the 3 people that are on that little piece of paper we tell you to put in your wallet with your 3 top people on it. Call all 3 of them. Maybe they need to hear from you. Maybe your voice will be the one that saves them, and vice versa. If you don't want to do that, contact us here at the Misfit Nation, info@themisfitnation.com, Steven@themisfitnation.com, and Jake@themisfitnation.com. We will get back with you. We will keep you on the line until we get someone close to you to get there and help you. Till next time, be humble, stay hungry, and you know what? You got to keep hustling.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling because we are Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.